Welcome to our channel. Today we're diving into the thrilling world of ancient gladiators and uncovering some fascinating facts about their origins. Imagine a society so different from our own, where combat wasn't just a matter of war but a form of entertainment, a public spectacle that captivated entire civilizations. These warriors, these gladiators, weren't just brawlers, they were symbols of courage, skill, and even celebrity. So buckle up as we journey back in time to ancient Rome, to the Colosseum's blood-soaked sands, and explore the lives, legends, and legacy of these ancient warriors. The origins of gladiatorial combat might surprise you. It wasn't born out of some insatiable thirst for violence, but as a solemn ritual, a blood offering to appease the spirits of the deceased. Imagine families grieving for their loved ones, seeking a way to honor their memory. They believed that the spilling of blood, a life offered in exchange for a life taken, would appease the gods of the underworld. These early forms of gladiatorial combat were far more subdued than the spectacles they would later become. They were held during funeral ceremonies, a somber affair where warriors, often slaves or prisoners of war, clashed in a symbolic battle to the death. Little did those early Romans know that this ritualistic act of mourning would evolve into one of the most iconic forms of entertainment in human history. Now, you can't just throw a couple of guys in a ring and call it gladiatorial combat. There were rules, different fighting styles, and specialized weapons. Think of it like ancient Roman MMA. You had the murmillo, the heavy hitter clad in armor, wielding a gladius. That's a short sword and a large shield. They were the tanks of the arena. Then there's the retiarius, a true spectacle to behold. They fought with a net and trident, nimble and agile, trying to ensnare their opponents like a fisherman reeling in a catch. And let's not forget the thraex, lightly armored with a curved sword called a sicae and a small round shield. Each type of gladiator had their own strengths and weaknesses, making for a diverse and unpredictable spectacle. Becoming a gladiator wasn't for the faint of heart. It required immense physical and mental strength. These warriors trained in specialized schools called ludi, where they honed their skills under the watchful eyes of former gladiators turned instructors, the lanista. Life in the ludus was no walk in the park. It was all about discipline, rigorous training, and a strict diet designed to build muscle and endurance. Think barley, beans, and surprisingly, a lot of barley soup. Not exactly a gourmet menu, but it fueled their incredible feats of strength and agility. Every so often, a gladiator would rise above the ranks, capturing the hearts and imaginations of the Roman populace. One such legend was Spartacus. He wasn't just a skilled warrior, he was a symbol of defiance, a former gladiator who dared to challenge the might of Rome itself. Spartacus led a slave revolt that shook the very foundations of the Roman Republic. Then there's Flamma, a Syrian gladiator who achieved the seemingly impossible. He was offered the rudis, a wooden sword symbolizing freedom, not once, not twice, but 4 times. Flamma chose to remain a gladiator, a testament to his love for the arena and his unwavering fighting spirit. But even giants fall. And so too did the spectacle of gladiatorial combat. The Roman Empire, once a beacon of power, began to crumble under its own weight. The rise of Christianity, with its emphasis on compassion and forgiveness, clashed with the brutality of the arena. The gladiatorial games, once a symbol of Roman might, were increasingly seen as barbaric and inhumane. Economic pressures also played a role, as the cost of staging these elaborate spectacles became increasingly burdensome, and so the roar of the crowd faded. The clash of steel fell silent, and the era of the gladiators drew to a close. The last known gladiatorial games were held in the 5th century AD, marking the end of an era. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed learning about gladiators, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more historical insights. See you next time. From the blood-soaked sands of the Colosseum to the fall of an empire, the story of gladiators is a captivating blend of history, violence, and human drama. These warriors, once symbols of Roman entertainment, continue to fascinate us with their skill, courage, and the brutal world they inhabited.